Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Pykel with League of Items, and I just want to do a quick video for review and looking forward to tomorrow. The LCS is on right now, and I'm watching it. I'm getting ready to record a video with the Allens, so watch out for that. Kill Keith Mitchell. We need him to make the cut. Right now, he's 300 today. Looks like he might actually make the cut. So give him your positive energy. If he misses the cut, it's one of your faults out there for jinxing him. So don't do that, please. Why is this? Why is that number so much different? That can't be right, right? My player hole remaining should be a lot lower. All right, I don't know if that's some kind of weird glitch, but I'm going to click off of that. That's Twitter. That is the contest that's going on right now. Where's the one from yesterday? Let me get that on the screen. So basically, yesterday I won $40, which stinks because I had a pretty good read on the slate, I think. So let's get my write-ups in front of me. Okay, so yesterday I said, I am playing a lot of E-Star tonight. I think their top laner has good upside and Hacker is serviceable. I think Rat and Xiaoxi can win this matchup through bot diff. Fingers crossed. I will have exposure to both and more exposure to LPL than LCK. I think Gen.G will go over owned because everyone just want to slate with them. I think Damwon and T1 will go over owned as well, but the low risk is actually scary for me. I do have some exposure to both sides because the idea that T1's young players pulling off a huge upset would be amazing and mean that there is another team playing fast in LCK, but I wouldn't get my hopes up yet. Damwon can just strangle out T1, which would kill the upside, and I doubt T1 lets Damwon Gaming stomp them 3 games in a row, even if it's rookies. Meaning, like, if they get embarrassed in one game, they're going to tone it down a little bit in terms of how aggressive they are. I love the top esports spot, and we'll have a big chunk of exposure to them as well. I have 1 to 2 rare Atom lineups, but they are a hedge. So yesterday, Gen.G, E-Star, Damwon Gaming, and top esports won. T1 had a chance in that series. They actually won the first game convincingly. Game 2 they were winning and they threw it away. If they didn't throw that away, I had a chance at first with one of my E-Star lineups. I had E-Star with Kana, Gumuyashi, and the T1 team, but it didn't work out. So my best lineup was in 26th. That was for 675 points. The first place team was E-Star and Top Esports, just like my lineup. It was just a 1-for-1, or a 1-for-1. So we had one player different. No, we didn't have one player different. What am I talking about? Oh, this isn't the right lineup. That's why. Haha. I was right. Okay. View head to head. Yeah, Knight for Irma. So Irma scored more. And honestly, I got to the point yesterday where I was building lineups and I thought to myself, like, okay, we get it. You like E-Star. Stop building so many E-Star lineups. The reason why I went in the direction that I did as opposed to the one that came in first place is because I thought it'd be less owned, and there was only owned 4 times. So it was myself, Osimo. I don't know who those other 2 guys are. But like I'm not mad at myself because like these guys all won 2450. If I came in first place, I probably would have won close to double. So it just comes down to how you play, how you think of the slate, how what you're trying to accomplish playing DraftKings. So good job to everybody who came in first place last night. Let's go to tomorrow's matches. So I already did my write-up in Discord. But I'll go through it pretty quick what I think is going to happen on this slate. So Live Sandbox and KT Rolster. I'm surprised that Sandbox is the favorite here. I think Summit and Doran are pretty close. Krako has been pretty good so far in terms of the style of play that they have. They have the chance to carry. But I think a lot of people out there are going to be talking about KT and how they should probably win this matchup. I think John is pretty high on KT. But I think he was really high on KT last year, and I didn't like them very much. Fate against UCal, it's probably closer than it's a close mid lane matchup. UCal was highly touted, and then Fate had a better season last year. But I think if everybody's right about the long-term talent of UCal, then that's an advantage for KT. And then Hybrid against Root is pretty similar. And Effort and Zeus. Effort has more experience and has played for a better team before, so that's always nice. But this isn't going to be everybody's favorite match of the day. Let's go to the next one. So V5 against LGD. V5 is better in the top lane, better in the jungle, better in the mid lane, better in bot lane, even though they don't have Y4, they're using Trigger. I don't know what's up with that, but Garvey is not an actual AD carry player. He probably can play AD carry, and I'm sure he's done it because most people who are professional League of Legends players have been playing for about 10 years, so I wouldn't be surprised if he is a serviceable AD carry. I think we've seen it happen previously, but it scares me. And LGD has already posted on social media about how they're not they're anticipating a rough season or something like that. And then everybody's favorite PP God. So V5 is going to be relatively popular because it seems like an easy matchup. I don't know what V5 is going to be like in a loss. So I'm not going all in on V5, but I will have a decent amount of V5. Hanwha Life against DRX. I love Hanwha Life. I hate DRX with a passion. DRX just beat a Freak of Freaks. I was on a Freak of Freaks. A Freak of Freaks should have won that series, but they threw away 2 of the games. They had large gold leads, and I think so. Morgan, I think, is better than Kingen still. The jungle, I think they're probably not as good as Pyosik. Pyosik's actually a pretty good jungler, in my opinion. Chovy is better than Solka. Deft is better than Bao, and Vista is most likely better than Becca, but it's not really it shouldn't come down to that. I think Hanwha Life, I think that they will most likely win this series pretty easily 2-0. I would bet 2-0 if you have a sports book that you like, or if you can find a nice number. As an alternative line, I think I just go for the 2-0. I would do like a 2-0 V5, 2-0 Hanwha Life. Maybe even a parlay with the two of those would be nice. And then, yeah, I think that the upside of Hanwha Life is questionable because I don't know how aggressive DRX is going to be in a loss. I just haven't seen it, so I don't have a good feeling about that. And then the last match is EDG against FPX. So FPX against Flandre, or Nagri against Flandre. Nagri is the better player. But Flandre is very aggressive and very volatile, so it's an interesting matchup. Tian against Jai Jai. I like Jai Jai. I think that they might actually be a better jungler at this meta specifically. Tian had some trouble with this meta last year. I forget what champions they played in their first match. Doonby against Scout. They're both very good mid laners. Doonby's probably a little bit better. LWX against Viper. I prefer Viper, but LWX is good. LWX had a bad year last year. And then we have Crisp and Mako, and they're both good supports. So I think that everybody's going to have exposure to EDG and FPX. Everybody's going to have exposure to Hanwha Life. Everyone's going to have exposure to V5. If you want to be different, you can use the DRX players that they have now are actually better than what they had before. They're not, but you could make that that kind of lineup, and then you could say, EDG FPX game stack, like it actually goes out of control. I think that's unlikely. V5 stomping LGD, like it's probably a really good time to get a V5 team slot, even though it's really expensive. PP God has good upside still, and then somebody like Longshi is fine. If you want that game not played bonus, you're probably going to go to one of these two matchups because it's pretty clear what everyone thinks about these two. The slate that's really going to, the game that is probably going to determine things is this long live sandbox against KT Rolster. So there is definitely a chance that they don't score enough points in order to win somebody a tournament. But this matchup reminds me of like the Mickey situation we had last year in the beginning of the season, where like an underdog was playing another not very good team, and if you just had a couple lineups with them, you were leveraged over the field, and you'd give yourself a chance at first place. So this is another spot like that. So Summit against Doran. Doran had a better year last year. But I think they're both good top laners. I don't think there's a gigantic talent differential there. Krako plays the way that I like a jungler to play, so that's interesting to me. We already said Fate and UCal are pretty similar. Root and Hybrid are pretty similar, and Effort and Zeus are pretty similar. So this is the kind of game where it's tough to take a definitive stand on what team you think is better, which matchups are heavily favored for one side or the other. So you kind of just have to play every single side of it, and you can do that tonight. I wouldn't go crazy with it because, like I said, EDG, FPX, Half-Life, and V5 are going to be much more popular. So if you just wanted to pick a couple combinations of Live Sandbox and KT, I think that makes sense. Or if you want to blend them in with your other teams, because if, like, let's say one of these team 2-0s with Summit going off and Effort just being serviceable, getting the game not played bonus, and then their team slot getting the game not played bonus, you'd get like 55 to 65, like anywhere from 60 to 90, and then anywhere from 60 to 90. So that's a pretty safe way to look at it if you have a take on which team is going to win out of this match. Like if you think one of them can 2-0, it's going to be different. That's basically it. So like I said, I'm about to record another video, but I wanted to make sure I got this out for everybody. Look for the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, all that good stuff. A couple people are coming in slowly for the Discord and everything. Like I said, my write-ups have been up there. I've been getting those out fairly early for the most part. Just like when I have a lull at work or something like that, I'll just do it real quick. But that's all I got for you. Make sure you root for Keith Mitchell, and I'll talk to you later.